evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Friday, September 29, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Government withdraws another US $50 million from oil fund to finance developmental activities. OPTIQUE Vision Care announces new specialty eye hospital for 2024. EXXONMOBIL Guyana withdraws from Kitro block. Man slapped with 12 charges for driving with cop on bonnet, and 2 houses gutted in Echo's fire. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast with news that the Guyana government has made its 5th drawdown this year from the Natural Resource Fund to the tune of US $50 million to continue financing its massive developmental agenda. Here are the details from Rupa Sinarain.
The latest withdrawal was announced by Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh on Friday. He said the $50 million US dollars, equivalent to 10.4 billion Guyana dollars, was taken out this month from the Natural Resource Fund, which is being held at the New York Federal Reserve Bank. In accordance with Section 16 of the Natural Resource Fund Act 2021, as part of the Budget 2023 process, parliamentary approval was granted for some $1 billion US dollars to be transferred during the 2023 fiscal year. Only earlier this month, government reported that in August and September, amounts totaling $200 million US dollars or 41.6 billion Guyana dollars had been transferred from the Natural Resource Fund to the Consolidated Fund to finance national development priorities. These withdrawals followed another $400 million US dollars or $83.2 billion taken out of the NRF in February and May of this year. In total, the accumulated withdrawals from the NRF thus far this year amount to $650 million US dollars or 135.2 billion Guyana dollars. According to Friday's statement from the finance minister, quote, "The PPPC government will continue to work aggressively through sound and transformative investments of oil resources from the NRF, utilizing these resources in a clear and transparent manner to the benefit of present and future generations," unquote. The funds in the NRF have their origins in the oil-rich Stabroek Block offshore Guyana, where U.S. oil major EXXONMOBIL and its partners are producing the light sweet crude using the Liza Destiny and Liza Unity floating, production, storage, and offloading FPSO vessels. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Vanu Manichan joins us now to report that United States oil giant ExxonMobil's local subsidiary announced on Thursday that it has withdrawn its interest in the Kitro block offshore Guyana in order to focus on its other operations in the Stabroek and Kanchi blocks here. Here's more.
In a statement on Thursday, ExxonMobil Guyana said it has exited the 3.3 million acre Kitro block offshore Guyana and will be signing over its participating interest to Ratio Guyana Limited and Catalea Energy Limited. According to the U.S. oil giant, the Israeli-based Ratio is anticipated to assume the role as operator of the Kitro block. Currently, Exxon's local affiliate Expo Exploration and Production Guyana Limited owns a 35% participating interest as the operator of Kitro block, while Ratio Guyana Limited holds 25%, Catalea Energy Limited 20%, and Hess Guyana the remaining 20%. Exxon's announcement comes on the heels of shareholder in Ratio Petroleum, Westmount Energy, reporting earlier on Thursday that Exxon has decided not to commit to drilling a second well on the Kitro block, and that both ExxonMobil and Hess Corporation have withdrawn from the Kitro block. With the two U.S. companies exiting the block, their participating interests will be returned to the original Kitro license holders, Ratio Guyana Limited and Catalea Energy Limited, at 50% each. Approval will have to be sought from the Guyana government for this reassignment, as well as the appointment of Ratio as the operator of Kitro block. ExxonMobil said, quote, Our exploration efforts and discovery of oil in the KAIETEUR block have highlighted Guyana's offshore potential. Our withdrawal from the KAIETEUR block has no impact on our commitment to seeking further exploration and development opportunities and to generating additional value for the government and people of Guyana. This includes our accelerated development and production in the Stabroek block, where we are targeting 6 FPSOs by the end of 2027, bringing Guyana's production capacity to more than 1 million barrels per day. End quote. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
OPTIQUE Vision Care has embarked on the construction of Guyana's first private-owned specialty hospital, earmarked for opening in August 2024. This announcement was made on Friday during the 10th anniversary celebrations of OPTIQUE Vision Care in Guyana. Having started its first location in Mahaica, East Coast Demerara, OPTIQUE's Chief Executive Officer Danny Narain shared OPTIQUE now operates at 5 locations, including the Amazonia and Giftland malls. However, the 6th undertaking will be a first of its kind for the private optical industry. The new hospital will be located at Lot 350 New Market Street, Georgetown, and will provide a full suite of eye care surgeries to complement existing services. It is intended to serve not just Guyana but the Caribbean. We now tell you that a taxi driver who reportedly hit a police officer with his car and carried him on the bonnet through the streets of New Amsterdam was on Friday slapped with 12 charges. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the man has been placed on $145,000 bail.
Prince Sinclair, 37 of Stanleyton, New Amsterdam, who reportedly drove into, injured and used a series of explicits against Police Constable Daniel Fredericks, appeared before Magistrate Juanita Singh at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court, where 12 charges were read to him. Sinclair was charged with 3 counts of dangerous driving on Wednesday, September 27th at Main Street, Pitt Street and Pope Street, New Amsterdam. He was also charged with behaving in a disorderly manner, causing actually bodily harm to Constable Fredericks, who was at the time performing traffic duties along Main Street, New Amsterdam. Driving motorcar PLL 4242 and neglecting to stop when directed to do so by a police officer performing traffic duties. Driving without wearing his seat belt. Failing to have all parts and accessories of his vehicle maintained in such a condition that no danger is likely to be caused to other persons using the said road. Stopping within 30 feet of a corner, Pitt Street, New Amsterdam, and driving motor car with a tint to the extent to obstruct the identification of the driver and occupants traveling in the said vehicle. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Attorney at law Tuana Hardy, who represented Sinclair, told the court that a vehicle was parked in front of a relative's business along Main Street when the accused was asked to remove the vehicle. She also told the court that the accused is willing and ready to compensate the police constable, who also frequents the business location. According to Hardy, Sinclair is expected to undergo surgery due to an illness as well. As such, Magistrate Singh set bail at $145,000 to cover all 12 charges. Sinclair will, however, have to lodge his passport. He will return to court on October 27th for a police report. Meanwhile, the Guyana Police Force in a statement had said that Constable Fredericks was on patrol duty with the force's motorcycle CL2610 along Main Street, New Amsterdam, when he observed the motorcar PLL 4242, which was parked within 30 feet of Shoe Lane and Main Street, obstructing the flow of traffic. As such, Constable Fredericks approached Sinclair and told him of the offense committed. The release said that the driver got angry and started to use a series of explicits at the cop. The driver then entered his car, drove towards the police rank and hit him on his right foot. Constable Fredericks fell onto the car bonnet and the driver continued to drive along Main Street and then into Republic Road. Constable Fredericks was eventually escorted to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital, where he was seen and examined by a doctor on duty who treated him for his injuries and later sent him away. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
2 houses at ECCLES, East Bank, Demerara were completely destroyed in a fire of unknown origin today. Luana McAllister reports that the buildings were both rented properties occupied by tenants.
It took 4 fire trucks and scores of firefighters to bring the blaze under control on Friday. The ferocious fire, which started at Lot 76 ECCLES Old Road, East Bank, Demerara, spread to the neighboring house, Lot 76, which was also completely engulfed and destroyed. Unfortunately, all occupants of both homes managed to escape unharmed. Upon arriving at the scene, there were speculations among onlookers that the fire might have been caused as a result of an electrical fault. However, this claim has not been officially confirmed. In an interview with this newscast, one of the occupants of the house where the fire started, Kelvin McDonald, shared his account of the incident.
I came home from work and my girlfriend Kimberly, she prepared her kids and she left and went to school with them. So after washing, the blackout, while washing, the blackout came on. And I finished washing, hung out my clothes, locked up both doors, and then I went into the front room and was relaxing. While I was relaxing, I started to smell the smoke. Well, when I look up, I see the light on, so I figured the current come on. So upon entering into the room, I get the breaker and everything, I see this little blaze. So I start asking for assistance, and then they called the fire wheel, and I tried the pipe wasn't giving water. The neighbor helped me with a hose, and we were trying, but I did catch onto the sponge, it started blazing.
McDonald mentioned that he, along with his family of 5, including 3 children, reside on the bottom floor of the 2-story concrete building, while the top floor was occupied by another individual. The estimated losses incurred by McDonald and his family are in the millions. An eyewitness who spoke with this newscast claimed that it took the fire service more than an hour to arrive at the scene.
I work at lot 77 Old Road Echoes, and I works with my sister, and me alone went in the shop, and I see my sister run out with all the rest of worker, and I see fire at the next door neighbor, which it got a cross street, then the house that burned first. And by the time we form bucket brigade, the fire ignite. So, but soon as I see the fire, the smoke a little bit, the guy that works here or lives here, I know him personally, and I know he's a police guy, and I call him to call the fire service, and he said he do, and to call GPL to take off the current. So in between, I call on the other worker to go upstairs, take off all the mains, and so by the time then the house fully blown with fire. These people take like 3/4 of an hour. I asked them, our shop, we sell gas. We have gas from front to back. We have 5 extinguisher. We bring out the extinguisher and we start to work with it. And I asked the fire service to soak our building first because it's going to be chaos if that catch. But God is in charge. My God is a good God.
The exact number of individuals residing in the other home remains unclear. An investigation into the incident has been launched. Reporting for the Evening News, I am Lawanda McAllister.
Coming up, 3 women killed, 4 others injured in Joala storm, and some 80 Venezuelans smuggled into Guyana at Tushan. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street, John Lewis style.
Guyana's oil industry has been developing at an unprecedented pace, and monitoring its progress and operations are crucial to the country's development. On board each floating production, storage, and offloading vessel are personnel from the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA), the Guyana Revenue Authority, and the Bureau of Standards to provide regulatory oversight of production. While onshore, the EPA is also able to conduct real-time monitoring that oversees production numbers, gas levels, and power generation with the support of Maxar technologies and services. These are regulatory measures in place to ensure the safe production of oil.
Superbet, your best bet. Bet as you enjoy your life matches today. Place your live bets at www.superbet.gy on any of your favorite matches and watch your winnings grow. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. 3 persons died and 4 others were injured during a violent storm that descended on the community of Jowala Back Dam, Mazaruni River, Region 7 at about 15 hours yesterday. Reports are that the heavy downpour of rain with gusting winds during the storm uprooted several trees. Approximately 10 persons were at a farming camp when a large tree nearby suddenly crashed on the camp, resulting in the death of 3 persons. Dead are 34-year-old Celeste Albert, 69-year-old Selena Hope, and 25-year-old Godfreyna Fredericks, all female farmers of the village. The 4 persons injured are 23-year-old Ramesh Michael, who suffered a fractured skull, 33-year-old Teddy Richmond, 30-year-old Lamona Hunter, and 1-year-old Shanvio Hunter, who also suffered a fractured skull, among other injuries. The injured persons were taken to the Camarang Hospital and are presently receiving treatment. At least 80 Venezuelans were yesterday smuggled into the country via the Atlantic Ocean. The Venezuelans, including women and children, arrived in a metal boat at Tushan East Bank Essequibo with their luggage and a large quantity of chicken and are currently in police custody. Venezuelan migrants seeking refuge in Guyana are being encouraged to present themselves to immigration authorities to get registered in order to benefit from services offered by the government. Reports indicate that there are about 40,000 Venezuelan migrants residing in Guyana, with only about 21,700 officially documented. We now tell you that the Guyana government has called out the Partnership for National Unity and Alliance for Change opposition parties over their unpatriotic attempt to undermine the work that the ruling People's Progressive Party civic government has been doing to push unity among and progress of the people of this country. Find out more in this Vanu Manikchand report.
In a statement on Thursday evening from the Office of the Prime Minister, the PPPC government categorically rejected the claims made in a petition dated September 24, 2023, submitted by the opposition APNU-AFC to the Washington Diaspora Conference. Government said the petition is not only aimed at undermining its commitment to the betterment of Guyana, but is engineered and designed to present a one-sided perspective that does not accurately represent the actions and policies of the current administration. According to the statement, quote, "The government views this petition, orchestrated by the APNU-AFC, as regressive, mischievous, and unpatriotic. It appears to be a thinly veiled attempt to undermine the universally unifying work that successive PPPC administrations have undertaken and which President Mohamed Irfan Ali has been vigorously advancing since his assumption to office in 2020 to transform the socio-economic construct of Guyana and foster an environment where every creed and race has an equal place." End quote. The government noted that while it recognizes the importance of addressing the concerns and grievances of any group of citizens, it is disheartening to witness the deliberate APNU-AFC-led smear campaign aimed at poisoning the well of public discourse both locally and internationally. This approach, it said, does a disservice to the democratic principles that Guyana upholds and the tireless efforts of the government to build a united Guyana under its One Guyana policy, which actively promotes inclusion, engagement, and consultation at all levels of our society. Among the issues the PPPC regime sought to set the record straight on is its engagement with local democratic institutions. The government reminded of the fact that invitations for dialogue and cooperation have been extended to the opposition on numerous occasions but were declined. On the issue of the Decade for People of African Descent, the PPPC noted that in addition to the many investments and policy initiatives that benefit citizens, including empowering Afro-Guyanese, some 33 organizations representing people of African descent received government grants in August. This, the PPPC administration pointed out, is added to the fact that people of African descent are holders of some of the highest and most significant constitutional, governmental, and civil society offices in the country. Nevertheless, government noted that it has committed to the global community to foster unity and equality among all Guyanese, despite an antithetical and malicious agenda from the political opposition. The PPPC added that it remains open to constructive dialogue and cooperation with all stakeholders to continue building a prosperous and harmonious Guyana. Reporting for the Evening News, Fanu Manakchand.
Aiming to reduce the stigma associated with mental health, JetBlue African Diaspora Experience and Blue Abilities, in collaboration with the University of Guyana, on Friday held a Wellness Expo themed Balancing Emotional, Physical, and Financial Health. Pooja Rambaran tells us more.
Held at UG Turkine, East Coast Demerara, this one-day event allowed persons to take advantage of free health screening, communicate with counselors on-site, witness a fitness demo, and sample some health food options. During the event's opening ceremony, JetBlue Jade's co-chair Kelly Marie Mingo noted that this initiative falls in line with the airline's continuous goal of inspiring humanity.
JADE, the JetBlue African Diaspora Experience, was founded in 2017 to inspire and support our crew members from the African diaspora. Through programs like these, we are able to touch not only our crew members, but our customers as well. In partnerships with other groups like Blue Abilities, we're able to bring thoughtful programming in the mental health arena. We are very happy to be here on ground in Guyana. Thank you for welcoming us with open arms.
During a short video presentation by JetBlue Jade, the team highlighted the importance of properly addressing mental health concerns, noting that mental health conditions are largely widespread, untreated, and under-resourced. In moves to increase public knowledge of how to aid those in need, the video shared information on suicide warning signs. These include drastic changes in mood or behavior, frequently talking about death, having a sense of hopelessness, aggressiveness or irritability, giving things away, and making funeral arrangements. To that end, the video shared useful guidelines on how to approach someone who may need assistance, by choosing a time and place to speak privately, having a calm conversation, and sharing reasons for concerns. The video advised persons to avoid being judgmental or immediately problem-solving and trying to change the other's mood, and instead be patient, listen compassionately, and give your full attention. Those in need are encouraged to call the helplines 223-0001, 223-0009, 600-7896, and 623-4444. Pooja Rambaran for the Evening News.
Determined to make valuable contributions to the workforce and not allow their conditions to limit their potential, some 20 youngsters have graduated from the Health Ministry's National Vocational Training Center for Persons with Disabilities, also known as the Open Doors Center. Rupasina Ryan reports.
The graduates completed the 2-year training in courses including beauty care, garment and craft, carpentry, and information technology. Health Ministry Permanent Secretary Malcolm Watkins zeroed in on the need to provide opportunities for all Guyanese to live an equitable life.
It doesn't mean special treatment, but it means treatment of respect and giving you the ability to be a fair competitor in the society, to choose whatever life path you deserve, and that you get that support to achieve it. I can tell you, being here and working with the leadership here and with the guidance of the government, we truly believe this motto, and we do everything every day to make decisions that are important to persons living with disability in Guyana.
The Permanent Secretary added that the ministry has set tangible objectives throughout the year to assist persons living with disabilities.
We definitely put resources towards the program in many areas, including improving the availability of prosthetics, eye care, training, and resources to places such as Open Doors in a very equitable and a conscious way to make sure that resources are given to make these days possible. And we intend to continue this commitment at the Ministry of Health as we work with the other stakeholders, both locally and internationally.
Gabriel Jolks, the best graduating participant, shared his experience at the Open Door Center.
During my first few months, I noticed how different the culture was at Open Doors. Firstly, in the way that my fellow trainees interacted with me. The stark contrast to what I experienced during a typical high school. Going with these kind of uncomfortable stares that would make a lot of us persons with disabilities feel uncomfortable. There weren't any sort of questions asked you, well, what's wrong with you? It's why your foot stays up. It's why your head sits to the right. Nobody was asking me these questions. And that's when I kind of realized that Open Doors was going to be a different experience. For the first time in my life, I was with people who understood what it was like to be a person with a disability.
The Open Doors Center was established in 2001 and assists the trainees in finding jobs or furthering their studies.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Saturday, September 30th, 2023 at 5 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 16 hours 50 on Saturday, September 30th, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Multi-purpose sports facilities for hinterland regions, Ramsden announces, and we want to play West Indian Calypso type of play, West Indies women's head coach says. Details of these stories in the Sportcast sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Complete control of power is in your hands with the ultimate U.S. brand Generac generators from Sylvie's Variety Store. Get the supply and reliability you need every time. From 1,800 to 8,000 watts of power for residential and commercial use. Recoil and electric start with gasoline engines. Generac generators from the authorized dealers Sylvie's Variety Store.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and in the